And welcome back to the Mayan Riviera. This is Casa Arroyo Blanco, our YouTube channel, where we're building a luxury home in Akumal, Mexico. Here's a view off the top of the roof. Beautiful, beautiful view. And here's the outside of the home, what it'll look like on the inside. The architect has put up his sign. You want to get some work, there you can call them. JCP Architectural Installations. So the guys are getting going here in the morning, of course. To get more stuff done, you need more material. So we got a little bit going up on the roof. Last video, we got the roof all poured, and the guys are starting to put the walls up and get to block in. Here, what they're bringing in is a lot of the finishing materials to put on the walls. So to plaster the walls and get started with that. Also, what we had happen this week was our solar installation crew came back. When we had originally poured the roof, we put in anchors. So what they're doing now is coming and pouring the pedestals and getting everything ready, so when we put the solar array on the house, it will be ready to go. So these will all be hurricane rated and tied right into the roof. So why we're doing this now and getting it going before we put the panels on is once this roof is basically wrapped up with the sides where we're doing all the plastering. You can see the guys getting the couple 3-coats there. It's basically a 3-coat system. Then we'll seal the roof with a rubberized membrane, and we want all those basically pedestals put in ahead of time so that we can put the coating up over top of that. So they're getting it all poured here into the little forms that they use PVC for. Then you can see in the background, the guys are plastering the walls. They're basically a rough coat and then a medium coat, and then there's a final finished smooth coat. You can see some of the walls in the back have already had some of the smooth coat. These guys are doing the smooth coat in the back corner over here and getting the walls. And basically the walls around the top are protection for a lot of the equipment and wind for the solar panels, and the air conditioner condenser units will sit up top. As we make our way down inside, you see the guys are working on the walls inside, basically getting that plastering done, covering up all the block. Again, 3 parts. So I call it plaster. When you talk to the guys there, they call it Messia. Sometimes depends on how the accent is. But here they're cleaning up around all the spots in the wall where we got our plumbing and our piping coming through. So the guys are getting those all plastered in and sealed back up. Everything's concrete here, so you got to figure out a way to seal it and get it all parched back in. We're into the hallway here where the guys have got the plank set up, and they're up top there. It's about 15, 16 feet in the air. So they got that set up to get those walls done. And you can see on the edge here, this is almost done. 1 more coat to go. What the big push for right now is to get all the doorways and all the window openings set up and get all the plastering done on those, because what will happen is they come to measure all the aluminum fixtures for the windows and doors, and we need all that finished level done so that we can get an accurate measurement. So when the aluminum shows up, the sliding glass doors, windows, all that kind of stuff, that they're all ready just to put in without any problems or alterations. So that's the big push that the guys are working on right now. You see some of the doorways have been done. Other crews are working on the walls. You can see we're going downstairs here and checking out what's happening down lower. Packing those heavy bags, 60, 80 pounds bags of concrete and cement, or the plaster product that they use for the walls. Guys working everywhere, just about every floor and almost every room. They seem to have somebody in there doing something, getting it prepared. We have about 12 or 13 people on site right now. And that's been through most of the build. And you can see the build up on the walls there a little bit. Basically a good 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, maybe even a little more by the time it's all said and done, depending how they level and take all the inconsistencies out of the wall. Here's our utility room. walk through here, look out towards the pool, and here's the master bedroom on the lower level. Here the guys are mixing up all the plaster that goes on the wall. So basically get the formula right. Part of this, part of that, some water, and then they start pulling it around to all the different guys in the house. You can see there how they have the edges set up. They use these straight edges, they're steel or aluminum, and that's how they get everything straight and square, and then they use the plastering up to those, and that's what gets their flat surface. So you can see how they've done the edges there, and now he's basically screeding up the wall. Getting back up on the roof here, the guys, this goes back a little bit before, going back probably a good week and a bit, where they're getting started on some of the walls and going here. We'll let you just kind of watch some of the stuff that they do here, and we'll speed up a little bit through as we go and see some of the process of putting everything together, packing all the block up by hand. These guys work hard. No cranes or anything here, just human muscle. Here in this corner, what you can see the guys now have got the wall up, and what they're actually doing is getting the grade beams in the corners where they all tie in. You can see the rebar meshes and the screens there. So what this does is ties everything together and then locks in the top of the block. That's where you get your strength in the walls. And then again, you can see where we have the reinforcements coming out of the roof, and those were where the solar crew were putting in their pedestals for the solar arrays. A little grinding, a little tapping, and then you got blocks that fit and fit the right taper. Here they're removing some forms off of a beam on the roof. Goes across, ties in the walls underneath. And you can see some of our conduits run up, and we'll have conduit that runs for the air conditioners. And we'll have like Starlink probably up there, and some lighting, different things that shine down on the house. Here the guys are getting some form work set up so that they can do the pouring of these beams, the grade beams, I guess, tie beams, however you want to call it. All bucketed up concrete for these kind of things. Everything's mixed and then brought up with buckets, handed from the bottom up to the top. The guys are mixing it down below. If you look in there, they'll put some stuff in just to space, and then what they'll do is build that across. And they'll tie in these corners with the basically pour all the way across the top of that wall when it's all said and done. That's what we got for this week. Most of the videos now are going to be finishing as the title to this one. We got the roof walls all on. Here's another view off the top. Make sure you join us again next week. We're going to get more into finishing with the pool and the inside walls, which is continuing. Check back CasaArroyoBlanco.com.